Hi guys, welcome back to ABoC Studio. This tube top is probably the most requested crochet piece on my channel so far. It is a quick and easy project which would be perfect for beginner. You can have it with or without the mesh, with strap or strapless with a lace-up bag. I like to have a matching strap for this top. You can find the Perplex Shrug tutorial on my channel or click on the link in the description. I made this one with the exact same pattern, only without the front tie. Like most of my videos, this once again is an in-depth tutorial, so even if you've never crocheted before, you have nothing to worry about. I will show you everything step by step. Now let's start with tools and materials. For this project, we're going to use DK yarn, and as you can see here, I have two colors. I will use this purple one for the main part of the top and this one for the mesh. For the main part, we will use the 4mm crochet hook, and for the mesh, we will use the 5.5mm. Of course, if you don't want the mesh on your top, you will only need one color of yarn and the 4mm hook. Then we need scissors and yarn needle to weave our ends in. We're gonna start with a number of chain, and this number depends on what size you're working on, so please follow the size instruction on the screen. Now to make chain, first we need a slip knot. You're gonna hold your yarn like this. This is the tail of your yarn and this is your working yarn. You put the working yarn on your tail like this to form a loop. And then again with the working yarn, you put it from the behind into the loop and pull out another loop, then close it. And this is our slip knot, alright? I like to make it quick, so I hold my yarn again like this, make a loop with two of my fingers like that, and pull the working yarn out of that loop to have a slip knot. Now we're gonna put this slip knot on our hook and close it, but don't close too tight, okay? For this pattern, we're gonna need our chain to be a little bit loose, so you don't want to close your slip knot all the way. You need a little bit of space like this, okay? Like so. Now, to make chain, you simply yarn over and pull through. Every time you yarn over and pull through, you make a chain loop. And this is your first chain loop. Now again, because we need our chain to be a little bit loose, so you loosen up the loop on your hook a little bit, just a little bit, like so, yarn over and pull through. And that is our second chain, alright? Now again, loosen up your loop a little bit, yarn over and pull through. We have 3 chain. Now we're gonna keep repeating that until we have our number of chain. Now once we have our chain, we're gonna start our first row with double crochet into the 3rd chain and each chain across until the end. Now you can see that each chain shaped like a little V, and this is the top loop of one V and this is the bottom loop, alright? And for double crochet, we're gonna insert our hook under that top loop of the V. Now double crochet in the 3rd chain. This is the loop on your hook, 1st chain, 2nd chain and 3rd chain, alright? For double crochet, first we're gonna yarn over and then insert a hook into the top loop of the 3rd chain, like so. Draw our loop with your working yarn. You can now see that you have 3 loops on your hook. Then we're gonna yarn over again and pull that through 2 loops. You will see now we have 2 loops. Yarn over again and pull through that 2 loops left on your hook. And that is our first double crochet. Now again, double crochet into this next chain, yarn over, insert your hook in the next chain, draw our loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Okay, that is our second double crochet. This is our first one, second one, and this one is a chain 2, which is there because we work double crochet into the third chain, right? This chain 2 we will count as a stitch, and on our next row we will work a double crochet in there, and I will show you how to do that. Now we're gonna repeat the same process, double crochet into each chain across until the end. So yarn over, insert your hook, draw our loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Again, all the way until the end, and I'll meet you at the end of this first row to show you what to do next, okay? You can see that I'm at the end of my chain and I have 2 chains left to work in. I'm gonna do that. Pull through 2, pull through 2, yarn over, insert your hook, draw our loop, pull through 2 and pull through 2. Alright, now this is how it should look like, and you can count to check the number of stitches you have on this first row. But remember to count this chain 2 at the beginning as 1 stitch, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the number of your stitches should match the number on the size instruction. Now to finish this row, you're gonna need a chain 2 with a loosen up second chain. So 1, and the second one you wanna loosen it up a little bit like this so that it's bigger than the normal one, and yarn over, pull through. You can see that the second chain is bigger, okay? Now we're gonna turn our work. Moving on to our second row, we're gonna work double crochet into the second stitch and each stitch across until the end of the row. The reason why we don't work in this first stitch you see here is because we already have this chain 2 count as 1 stitch. This chain 2 with a loosen up second stitch is already count as 1 stitch for this first stitch. Okay, so we won't work in this first stitch, we work in the second stitch. Now on top of each stitch you will see the V, and we're gonna insert our hook under that V. Now double crochet into the second stitch, yarn over, insert your hook into the second stitch under the V on top of the stitch, and you're gonna take both loops of the V like this, alright? Draw our loop, have 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, okay? Now again, yarn over, insert your hook in the next stitch under the V, draw our loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And we're gonna repeat the same thing again and again until the end of this row, and I will meet you right at the end of the row to show you what to do next. You can see that I'm at the end of this row and I have 2 stitches left with this chain 2 right here, alright? So I'm gonna work my double crochet in here, and this one, okay. Now we're gonna place our last double crochet of this row into this chain 2 that we count as 1 stitch, and you can see that here this is the second chain of the chain 2 on top of the first chain, okay? So in that second chain you will see a little hole right under the 2 loops on top of it, and you insert your hook right in there to place our last double crochet. This is also the reason why we always loosen up the second chain of our chain 2. If you don't loosen it up, this hole will be very small and hard to see and hard to insert your hook. Now last double crochet into the second chain, yarn over, insert the hook right in there, take 2 loops of that chain, draw our loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And that is our last double crochet of this row. Moving on, next you're gonna do the same thing, chain 2 with a loosen up second chain, turn our work, and work double crochet into the second stitch, yarn over, insert your hook, draw our loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, and repeat the same thing all the way until the end. And even though there's nothing new, I'll meet you at the end of this row to show you one more time what to do. All right. Okay, I'm at the end of row 3 and you can see that I have 3 stitches left to work in. I'm gonna do that. And this last stitch, which is the chain 2, I'm gonna insert my hook under the second chain that I loose up right here. Yarn over, insert my hook, draw our loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now again, I'm gonna chain 2 with a loosen up second chain and turn my work. From now on, we're gonna repeat pretty much the same process. Double crochet into the second stitch and each stitch until the end. And we're gonna keep doing that until this piece is long enough. And this length will depend on what size you're working on, so please follow the instruction that I put on the screen. I'm at the end of this row and I have 2 stitches left to finish this row before I bind off. And you can see that where I bind off would be the same side as where this tail of the foundation chain. So you can see they are on the same side. Depending on which rows you are finishing, your tail can be here, which is the opposite side to this tail, and that is not a problem, but I'm gonna show you how to use up the 2 tails later, so it would be better if your bind off tails is on the same side with this one. So if you are here, then what you can do is go ahead and work one more extra row so that we will bind off on the same side with this tail. All right, now I will show you how to bind off. I work my last 2 last stitches, double crochet this last stitch, which is the chain 2, and then to bind off, it's very simple. You just chain 1 and cut, leave a long tail so that we can use it up later. Okay, and you pull this loop out and close to bind off, and that's it. You can stretch the piece out a little bit so that it looks more nice and even. Moving on, I will show you how to make the lower back tie. We're gonna join this tail with our new yarns so that we have our working yarn to keep going with this one. And we're gonna do the magic knot to join them. I will do it real quick. If you don't know how to do that, please find the tutorial for how to join yarn with magic knot down in the description of this video. In case you don't want to do the magic knot or your tail is too short for a magic knot, you can just slide your new yarn in here and working with it. Okay, but I want to use up this tail so that I don't have extra tails to weave in later, so I'm gonna join them. Okay, you can see that the magic knot is really secure and it's almost invisible. Now we can keep working with this yarn. You're going to insert the hook right in here. You see, between these stitches, draw our loop. And what we do is that we just keep chaining until you have about 40 chains, so that this chain will be long enough for us to use it as a tie. Okay, once you're done making chain, you can just cut off your working yarn and pull the loop out and tie it up. You want it to be really tied up, and then you can cut close to the knot. Then you repeat the same thing to the other side. Make the same chain and cut it off. Now for the mesh, you want to take your new yarn and slide it right here in the corner. You insert your hook into the corner, draw our loop, draw the tail all the way out and tie it up. Then you're gonna insert the hook in the same place, then draw our loop, pull this loop out a little bit, and this is where we want to change our hook, this 4mm into our 5mm. This one, this bigger one, okay? You insert your hook into the loop and we're gonna start working our mesh with treble crochet. To begin our first row, you want a chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, okay? Now I will show you how to work a treble crochet, and our next treble crochet we will insert our hook right into this next row. You will see here this first row and this next row, and you want to insert your hook right under this stitch on the edge of the next row, okay? So right in here, in this space, you see? This space, all right? Now for treble crochet, you yarn over 2 times. 1, 2, insert the hook here, right there, under this stitch on the edge, all right? This double crochet stitch, like so. You draw our loop. You can now see that we have 4 loops on our hook. Next, we will yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Again, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Now the last one, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. And that is our treble crochet. As you can see in the written pattern, before we work our next treble crochet, we want a chain 1 and then work our next treble crochet into this space. So for treble crochet, you yarn over 2 times, insert your hook, draw our loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. All right? Now again, into this one, chain 1 and a treble crochet, yarn over 2 times, insert your hook, draw our loop, yarn over 2, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. All right, and again, chain 1, yarn over 2 times, insert your hook, draw our loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, chain 1, yarn over 2 times, insert your hook, and repeat the same thing. This is how it should look like. And you're gonna keep repeating the same process until the end when you get to this corner, and I meet you right here when we have about 2 stitches left to show you how it's like, okay? Now chain 1 and treble crochet into the next space, chain 1, treble crochet, Alright, here we are, and you can see that I have 2 stitches left to work in. Chain 1 and work a treble crochet in there. Alright, now for our last stitch, what I like to do is that instead of working into this stitch, I would work in this one, in this hole right here, you see, so that it will place right in the corner. Okay, so chain 1 and work a treble crochet. Okay, before moving on to our next row, we need a chain 4 and 4, okay? Then turn our work. Now follow the written pattern. Our first treble crochet we will place in the second space. You can see here that between the treble crochet, there's this space, and that's where you want to insert your hook, alright? And we will skip this first space because this chain 2 already count as a stitch for this space, so we move to this one, this next one. yarn over 2 times, insert your hook into this second space, draw our loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. Now the same process, chain 1 and a treble crochet into the next space. That is how it should look like. Chain 1 again, treble crochet in the next space. This is how it should look like. And we do the same thing, chain 1, treble crochet in the next space all the way until the end of the row, and I meet you at the end to show you what to do next. You can see that I have 3 spaces left. I will do the same, chain 1 and treble crochet into each space, chain 1, treble crochet, chain 1 again and treble crochet into this last space. Alright? Now before moving on to our next row, we're gonna once again chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and turn our work. Okay? Now we're gonna do the same with our next row. You yarn over 2 times, work your treble crochet into the second space, and the process will be just the same. Chain 1, work a treble crochet in the next space all the way until the end, and I'll meet you at the end to show you how to bind off. Alright, you can see that I have 2 spaces left, so I'm gonna finish that with a chain 1, treble crochet in this space, chain 1, treble crochet in this last space, and then we can bind off by just chain 1, cut with a long enough tails to weave in later, and that's it. Now we can move on to our next part. Now for our straps or our lace-up tag, we will need a really long chain, and we start with a slip knot as I show you in the beginning of the video, and then you just keep chaining until your chain is long enough. I'm using the 5.5mm here for the chain because it's just gonna work up faster, but you can use the 4mm, it's fine. And you will need your chain to be twice longer than this length of the whole top. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, now I'm just gonna fold this chain in half like this, put this together and see if it's long enough, and you see that it's even longer than the length of my top, and that's how I want it to be. Actually, I want it to be a little bit longer, so just keep going until it is as long as I want. Okay, now I'm just gonna bind off by cut and pull this out, tight it up, and then cut close to the knot. Do the same with the other side, this one. Okay. Now there's still one more things we need to do is to weave our extra tails back into the piece, and it's a little bit tricky here because the stitches are pretty loose, so I will show you how to do it. You put your tails into your needle, and the trick is to not put it in a straight line but go all the way up and down, right to the left. Insert it first here and twist it. The same with the stitch, with this one. And then you want to stretch the stitch out to reposition the tail. And then we go here, this way, okay? And then down here, and then up again into this upper stitch. Stretch the piece out a little bit, and then again go down into this stitch. And that's it. The trick is just to put it all around, not in a straight line, and it's gonna be fine. You can just cut this off